Hello everybody, I'm Kerry Hollier. Most people at Beaumaris will know me from my role as the front of house coordinator, but occasionally I do manage to get myself onto the stage, and like most people in community theatre, I love an opportunity to perform. So I'd like to thank Beaumaris for giving me that opportunity tonight. My choice of monologue is from Alan Bennett's History Boys, a play I've been rehearsing since the beginning of the year, but like many plays, it has fallen victim to COVID-19. It's an interesting play, first launched onto the scene in 2006 in London, to great acclaim and quite a few awards. It then followed the track to New York, again, more awards, and was finally made into a film in 2008 using the original London cast. The backstory? Well, it's a play that's set in England, in Sheffield, as a matter of fact, in the 1970s. And we meet 8 young men who have just completed their final year to great acclaim there, and so good, in fact. Their A-levels were so good, in fact, that they have become scholarship candidates for Oxford and Cambridge. Helping them along the journey to gain entrance into these hallowed institutions are 4 teachers. Their headmaster, a political animal, their English master, who has a unique relationship with the boys, the new social studies master, who is very young, and he's been brought in to give the boys the polish they need for these institutions. And finally, the history mistress, Mrs. Dorothy Lintott, or Totty as she is affectionately called by the boys. And it is Dorothy's monologue that I'm going to be performing tonight. Needless to say, she's a little frustrated. Mr. Actor, you say you're interested in architecture. Who is your favourite architect? I was thinking more along the Wren Hawksmoor lines. Richard Rogers, didn't he write musicals? So will you not get along? Next, Mr. Crowther. You mentioned you're interested in the theatre. Tell us more about that. I hesitate to mention this, lest it occasion a sophisticated groan, but it may not have crossed your minds that one of the dons who interviews you may be a woman. I am reluctant at this stage of the game to expose you to new ideas, but having taught you all history on a strictly non-gender orientated basis, I just wondered whether it occurred to any of you how dispiriting this can be. Women so seldom get a turn for a start. Elizabeth I, less remarkable for her abilities than that, unlike her sisters, she managed to exercise them. Am I embarrassing you? Why? Yes, I know it's Wittgenstein, thank you. Tell me, just as a matter of interest, did he travel on the other bus? You can tell, because the world is everything, that is the case, seems rather a feminine approach to things, rueful, accepting, taking things as you find them. A real man would be trickier. The world is everything that can be made to seem the case. However, je divulge. Can you all, for one moment, imagine how dispiriting it can be to teach 5 centuries of masculine ineptitude? Why do you think there are no women historians on TV? I'll tell you why. History is not such a frolic for women as it is for men. Why should it be? They never get round the conference table. In 1919, for instance, they just arranged the flowers and gracefully retired. History is a commentary on the various and continuing incapabilities of men. What is history? History is women following behind with a bucket. And I am not asking you to espouse this particular point of view, but the occasional nod in its direction can do you no harm. Now, Mr. Rudge, how do you define history? Thanks, everybody. Good night.